Welcome to the debut episode of NXT on Tap. I am Scalz. My guest tonight is going to be none other than Phil the Future, and we are about to get into a fantastic episode of NXT that just ended. Like, quick thoughts. Quick thoughts. What do you think?
Quick thoughts. For this being the go home show for Heatwave, very well done in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I know they have their special episodes, but we also have No Mercy coming up soon. Like, they
Indeed.
need to build to that as well.
Yeah,
But this show tonight, ups, downs, everything you can imagine, just so good.
absolutely.
So let's kick it off with what happened first. We started off with the NXT Tag Team Championship match. We had the family, um,
Tony and Stacks.
Tony and Stacks versus the Dyad. Now, on paper, you think this match is actually going to be one sided because the Dyad had been floundering, everything going on. But this match, it was a great way to start off the night. The crowd was behind them, everything. What did you like about this match?
Really, really the whole story. Really, I still love the whole thing of the Creed brothers somehow somehow hiding within the following that Schism has, because right at the end of the match, like you see Ivy coming out, and we know Ivy Creed's close Diamond Mine. They all of a sudden close in on her, like, no, this you ain't stopping this. But then coming down from the crowd in, one of them big and burly, double axe handle. The other one hits the other guy with the Dream Valley driver. That screamed Brutus and Julius so much.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this has been going on for weeks and weeks. We know what's happening. It just depends on when it's actually going to be finally unveiled. Like, they took a step back tonight from the Dyad going around the entire arena, beating up people, trying to find them. And the Creeds found them. They came to them. And there was I couldn't believe how many, what are they called? The Druids?
They're like, they are sort of like Druids, but that's more Undertaker thing. I feel like it's just more of just like a cult, I think.
Yeah, because I think it was up to like 20 of them now. Like, where did they all come from?
Right.
But I'm loving Gacy in this. Like, I'm actually quite surprised that we still have the tag team together, because I know they did request a release a while ago. So it was a shock to actually have them beat the Creeds, but I do love what they have done with the storyline since then.
Absolutely.
So we had the family retaining due to the outside interference of the Creeds, or just part of the Dyad, because they still haven't been able to determine that that's actually them. But Channing Stacks has been impressing me lately. He's getting better and better every single week, and I could eventually seeing him turn on the Don and having a solo run.
That would actually be very interesting. That would be very interesting to watch for definitely. Like, I still see Stacks improving, like, just a little bit every day. I feel like everything that they did, I think I mentioned to you yesterday, the role that Stacks played in the family's feud against Gallus, Stacks was the main guy that was around the entire story.
Beautiful. Yeah, I bought into the fact that he turned on D'Angelo.
He turned on Tony, but then you look at the whole thing again, it's like, oh wait, no, I was set up.
Yep. And it was such good. Like, it was so good. And Gallus has just played so well into this. They had a match later on. You had Joe Coffey having a match against Tyler Bate. We'll get into that in a little bit. but the way that they've done things is just so intriguing. Like I'm loving NXT. Like to me, it's probably the best WWE show out of the three.
I honestly cannot argue with that. Like, and I feel like with NXT, they know they're with the. I feel like with the limited amount of like the sort of limited amount of people that are on that roster, it's like they know with. I feel like just with River City Radio. Thank you for that, by the way. I appreciate that. But like the fact with how they're able to put together these different feuds, in my opinion, is great. Um, I think they're doing fairly well. I think they're fairly doing well with the NXT women's division, better than what the main roster is doing with the women's division. And like,
So
I just
yeah, like it's a balanced show. Like there's no downtime. Like and all the downtime, it's not this in-ring stuff most of the time. It's these vignettes, and we're going to talk about some of the vignettes from tonight.
Yeah.
Like I'm there's one that immediately brought me back to the pandemic, and I will explain to everything about it during that. Sean, I hate to say it, she was not on the show tonight.
Yeah, she was not on the show,
And honestly,
unfortunately.
she wasn't missed because of how the show flowed.
Yes.
Yeah,
NXT's better than Raw.
I can't argue with that. I really can't. So we had a great match to start the show. They got a good amount of time. They had probably about 10 to 12 minutes of match time. It was great match. And then we go into a vignette featuring Eddie Thorpe. And they're building this up every week. He's ready to come back. He wants to attack Dijak, and he just wants to get revenge for what happened. And the storytelling that they're doing with him is just fascinating. These vignettes for NXT are top notch.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, I don't know much about like said culture, or even if Eddie Thorpe even does have that type of a background. Also, considering we picked the guy up from we actually picked him up from New Japan. He was going under the name of Carl Fredericks in New Japan, and we brought him in, and he developed the character change, and now he's Eddie Thorpe. But that aside, yeah, Eddie Thorpe, he's starting to become somebody in the mid card area. He's not really booked in title show. He's not booked in title matches really, but Eddie Thorpe is just becoming different. He's like a different animal all on his own.
Sorry to interrupt you, Phil. First, I want to thank Jamie Rose for the resub that is now 7 months in a row. And then a huge shout out to Sean, gifting 5 Tier 1 subs tonight. Man, love you, Sean. Thank you so much for the love and support.
Thank you, man. Thank you. It means a lot to all of us.
So, as you were saying, Thorpe, he came over from New Japan. He's been a great addition. You haven't been able to showcase lately, but this is starting to get him onto that, and you're going to be surprised what this man can do in the ring. Like he is a workhorse. He has talent. Like it's just going to be so good. I cannot wait for that rematch between him and Dijak.
Absolutely, that rubber match is going to be fire.
And then we had our first of 3 backstage segments containing Carmelo Hayes. This first one was with Wesley, saying he's coming for the title. He's going to win the match tonight, and then he'll be back here. You can stop signing all the pictures because this will be it. You better keep one for yourself. Like, just so good. The detail between them, amazing.
Yeah, great chemistry.
Then we have our first women's match of the night, Blair Davenport versus Dana Brooke.
This one surprised me.
I hopped into your live on TikTok earlier, and I heard you talking about this. So you want to lead this one?
Yeah. So yeah, Blair Davenport. Okay, Blair has kind of been a favorite of mine since I got the opportunity. When I started watching NXT UK for a little bit, she really kind of caught my attention, especially when I found out, of course, she'd been doing a lot of stuff on a lot of other promotions, especially knowing her relationship with Ospreay. But anyway, the point was this match with Dana Brooke. So Blair Davenport was doing the original Blair Davenport thing, but I am sensing something big with Dana Brooke here. I know everybody just likes to throw it around saying that Dana Brooke is basically the worst thing in WWE. She needs to be one of the first people to be fired. But really, if you look at tonight, I would say don't go there yet. Right now, what I'm seeing with Dana Brooke, she's becoming somebody different. Even though she's still being this little bit of a mentor to Kalani Jordan, there's something in her that's making her almost about to snap. And I am waiting to see if this is going to happen. I will be so happy because they're going to turn like shite into gold, because this could be something different. This could be great if they make Dana Brooke a heel and then let her go from there.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it last week. They started teasing it when she started chasing Davenport around the ring with what did she have? I think it was a belt. She
Yeah.
was running around with the ring with her, going crazy. Like, it was just insane. Thanks for the follow, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Gigi. Oh, that's my friend Heel Queen from TikTok.
Oh, hydrate. All right, Sean. So this match was actually pretty good. Like, Dana Brooke had a great start to this match. Like, she was taking it to Davenport. I honestly thought that Dana was going to win with the way this match was going.
Exactly. That was me too. Is she going to pull off an upset?
And then Dana had that big powerbomb move, the sit-down powerbomb. I thought that was it. Like, I was surprised that Davenport kicked out there. Yeah, Sean, we know your your thirst for Nikita too. So, yeah. So overall, that was a pretty good match. They got probably, I think it was like about 8 minutes in the ring.
Yeah.
So it was actually not too bad for NXT with the women's division.
Yeah, but she's changing heavily though. Last time it was a belt, now it's the ring belt. Like, relax.
Yeah, she's definitely going to be doing something, and it's gonna take everybody by surprise, and I think everybody's here for it.
I think so too.
Now, after this, we had our backstage segment with Chase U, and Thea is just like done with this. Like, I'm waiting for her to leave Chase University and go out on her own, because she's tired of Andre Chase like talking for her, doing things for her. And she said, "I hope you don't throw in the towel again tonight." Like,
yeah,
that little dig.
Yeah, dude, what the was that? It's like, well, like, what can I say? You did throw in the towel. Leave me out of this.
So that was a nice little segment leading up to the match later on that she was in versus JC Jane, because Chase made the match.
Yes. Thea heel turn or a Chase U turn? That's what Sean is asking.
I think it's gonna be Thea and I can't think of his name. Duke. I think they're gonna turn on Chase, and that's how it's gonna. And Chase U is gonna be no more after that.
Yeah.
That's what I think is gonna happen, because he went after her. He chased her. He was trying to calm her down. He's been like her guiding person, so to speak, with everything that's gone on. He's been like the one that's actually been able to talk to her and get her to understand everything. Whereas Chase was gone for a while. He was not there. He left them alone. So it could definitely be Thea and Duke being the one.
Yeah, definitely. So do you think Schism is going to break up? I mean, with the Creeds,
it's been the seeds have been planted for a long time now. They were ready to break up beforehand, then they got back together, and now they're continuing to do it. And it's just something's going to be the breaking point, and it's just going to all combust, and then we're going to get Joe Gacy back to being Joe Gacy, and I think that's going to be the great thing that comes out of it.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nick saying I felt like Duke was going to turn a while ago and it just never happened. Yeah, if you go back to Stand and Deliver, that's where it happened. It
I
looked like
feel like it's because Chase got hurt that
yeah,
Andre got hurt, and that's what put it on the back burner.
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's great, Kane. So after that segment, we had Trick Williams versus Drew Gulak. Now, Trick is better in the ring than I thought.
Yeah.
Like, I was not expecting what he did in that ring tonight, especially going against Drew, because Drew is
Right.
one of the top-notch talents.
Yeah. Submission. Yeah. I believe he's more yeah, like he says, he's more of a submission guy.
But just to wait, like they actually had great chemistry together too. Like the match
Mhm.
flowed. They got some time to work, and they made Trick look like $1,000,000,
They
which is
did.
what they needed to do going into his match versus Ilya Dragunov.
Yep.
Because if that didn't happen, no one would even believe that he had a chance to beat him.
Right. And I mean, you didn't have just Gulak out there. You had you also had Damon Kemp and Charlie Dempsey at ringside, and they both hit him with moves. Like Charlie hit him with a German outside the ring. Damon hit him with a I don't know what the heck Damon hit him with. But either way, he just sat all them down.
And it's like it was just amazing how well they made him look coming out of being Carmelo's sidekick.
Yeah, everyone keeps saying that he's just the lackey, the butt, the bag man, like all that. Like, no, he's not a bag man. He's a guy. He's somebody who will prove to you that he's much more than that. Do you think we see a heel Lyra next week? A heat wave? Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But ooh, will
Well,
we ever see a brand split that is real?
that's Will just torturing me.
Right.
We had a Dabakato sighting with
Yeah,
a little interesting vignette. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to lead to anywhere, but it did, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yep.
Then we had Corbin come out to the ring.
Oh my goodness.
What are your thoughts on this promo?
Okay, here's the thing. Like Corbin, yeah, like I feel like for some reason people are actually starting to get behind Baron Corbin for a change. Like this new Corbin is just somebody completely different, at least for me. Like
It's not one of his 10 gimmicks he's had.
that Von Wagner looking like a wannabe test. But anyway. I know, but still, I mean, Corbin is speaking. I feel like Corbin, honestly, is speaking a lot of truths. Him being a veteran of WWE for a very long time, and him not really getting a lot of not really getting much of a chance to really showcase a lot of talent because like he's just improving to the point right now where I love his mic skills like so much.
Corbin just kills it on the mic like he always does. This man knows how to talk. And while you may not like him because of what he's done in the past, how he's had all these different characters, had to go through everything, this man puts everything into anything he is given. He is always putting 100% into it. I mean, he had the great gimmick with the sad Corbin, the poor Corbin. Like that was his best gimmick to me. Like I love that one so much before he won and became Happy Corbin. Happy Corbin can go away. Like I think that was probably one of the low points for him. But when McAfee was calling him boring Corbin, like all that stuff, like leading up into that, the bum ass Corbin, like it was great. He played that so well, and he even took it into Twitter and TikTok and everything else. Like he plays this part everywhere he goes. And for him to go at Von Wagner tonight when Wagner came out and Stone was talking. He's like, "Why don't you just give him the mic?" And then he gives it to Wagner. Wagner and Corbin's like, "No, you take it back. Like this guy can't talk." Like it was just so good, the little digs that he does on it.
Mm-hmm. And I think also now going to Vaughn, even though we're always going to trash Vaughn for like everything else that's been going on with him. He's like, we know he's a guy that's not much of a talker. Like, I don't remember really being invested in Von Wagner ever since he had that tag team with Kyle O'Reilly in like 2.0, and then all of a sudden just randomly turned on Kyle, and then we just had to endure 2.0 until we got to this point. Because I feel like ever since they had the story where he basically had to explain what that baby picture was about him, nobody really gave a crap about Vaughn. But now I feel like he's slow. He's slow off the blocks, but it's slowly becoming a bit better with the communication, because now he's got at Heatwave, I've got a reservation, I've got a table for one, and your ass is going through the table. So basically,
It all started with his little sit down with Stone inside the empty arenas, talking about himself.
Yeah,
Then it went into the he had his little meeting with the therapist and everything else, and you just saw a different side of Von Wagner. And I think that's what started to get the crowd more behind him, and I feel like he got more confident after that.
Yes.
And it shows not only on the mic, because you saw it tonight, but in the ring itself. And I do love that he's using this tabled, you're going to get tabled type thing. It's just something different. It's unique. I don't think I've ever heard like that being used in this sense.
Yeah, you're going to get tabled.
So overall, pretty good promo by Corbin. Wagner came back a little bit, and then we had the little fight afterwards. Got broken up by security to set up the match for next week.
Yeah.
So we have a pretty stacked card going for next week. You have Corbin versus Wagner. You'll have the match versus Mello Hayes for the title. You're going to have another match we're going to be talking about in just a moment that was announced. So the card is stacking up pretty good. But let's get to the next segment where we had Rhea and Dom backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this was more of a Rhea Ripley segment than Dom, which was great because it didn't give the crowd a chance to boo. I like what they're doing. I just want to know if we're actually going to legit get a mixed tag match, or if it's going to have to be women versus women and men versus men.
Right.
Because with Rhea, it can easily happen.
Mm-hmm. It could easily turn into a Rhea Ripley match and not a Dominic and Rhea match, because Rhea is a dominant force. That felt so weird to say.
Because you wanted to say Dominic, but
Dominic. Like,
yeah.
Wait a minute. Like Dominic is not the one that is like a dominant guy. One of those like dominant guys. He's more of like, he's kind of.
And this was Rhea talking to Lyra Valkyrie, saying, get together with Dragon Lee, and we'll see you in the ring next week.
Yeah, the guy that Dom called Rey Mysterio light.
Yeah, that's
yikes.
So I'm excited about that match. That gives us 3 good matches for next week to start out. Next, we had the number 1 contendership match.
Yeah, Dijak and Wesley. Oh my goodness.
This stole the show.
Yeah, this is what they were talking like when Raw was going on and they were showing stuff for NXT, that was like the main thing they were talking about. It was Wes versus Dijak, and yes, it always seems like I'm not just saying it's always like this with Wes, but they always seem to start off an NXT pay per view these days with Wes Lee because they know this guy can deliver. They know this guy is almost an entire jack of all trades. This is somebody that people easily rally behind. He's been the most dominant North American champion so far, or at least as of right now. And
No, wasn't he? Wasn't he the longest reigning North American championship?
I think he did. I think he is.
He was until he lost it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you could say he was the most dominant North American champion. It might not have been in regards to who he beat, but the time frame that he held the belt while defending it consistently was.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
And this match just had everything. You had Wesley showed both his power and his speed. He had that big move where it was almost like a sidewalk slam to Dijak, where Dijak got up. Like, I don't know how Wesley did it, and then they both were selling the injuries.
I think the one that you were talking about in mine, Wesley was going for the cardiac kick, but then it was like his shoulder gave out, and then Dijak was going for a feast your eyes, but then his knee went out. I'm like, oh, that was just man, this could go either way now. Like,
and I agree with you, Kane, and I'm going to get to why in a moment. And then you had the outside where you had Thorpe show up and distracts Dijak.
Yeah. Eddie Thorpe didn't even do anything. He literally just stood there, and Dijak allowed himself to get distracted. Like, he even went for he went for sort of that lariat or that punch. Mm-hmm. All he did was weave it, allowing Wes to hit him with that Hurricane Rana that hit him
into the ring steps,
back into the ring, redid the cardiac kick,
and then he did this twist move off the top rope.
Oh yeah, that was AJ Styles. I believe AJ Styles was known for doing a move like that back when he was still in TNA. He called it the spiral tap, and that's what I call it.
Yes, I couldn't think of the name of it. That's exactly what it is. And then he got the pin. 1, 2, 3. You have him facing off against Mello, like Kane says. And here's the thing. Wes Lee beat Mello for the North American Championship.
Yeah. But yeah.
So could we see history repeat itself?
Maybe. We might just.
I mean, does Shawn Michaels have the cojones to put Wes Lee as your main champion?
I mean, Wes was the one that came out of Shawn's office with the contract. So
yeah, I know Ginger, but it's just
no Ajax.
they're making you believe that he can.
Yes,
and that's the thing. Like they're making you suspend belief that he actually could do it, based off of everything that's happened over the last few weeks.
Right.
Now, this next thing was my favorite part of NXT outside of any of the matches that happened.
Yep.
This Mustafa Ali vignette,
yes,
was so well done, and I praise HBK for letting him do it, because this was what he wanted to do on the main roster back in 2021, and they would not let him do it. If you don't know what it is, I tweeted out. I went back and found it. I tweeted out his tweet from 2021.
Oh boy.
So if you want to see it, it is in our tweets, and you can definitely go see his promo from then because it was just so amazing, and it's getting to do what he wants to do, and they're letting him do it, which is phenomenal because that's something that they normally don't do with him. He doesn't even he never gets his chance.
Right.
So I'm glad they're allowing him to be able to do it.
Yep.
Oh.
This finally made me proud to be a Mustafa Ali fan.
Oh, look. JD from New York has the same sentiments as me, except I said it first. Because I put that out right as soon as it happened. I went back and found the original vignette. Cam, you always forget NXT is on because you don't watch NXT. So it's not that you forget that it's on, you're choosing not to watch it. Which is your choice. No issues with that. And yes, Will, it is still real to me, damn it. They're making me believe. And that's what this whole show is supposed to be about. But, yeah, this vignette tonight from Mustafa Ali makes me think that we can see him get to be the next North American champion and be the one to beat Dom. No, I'm not playing your clip, Jamie. I'm not playing it.
Oh, man.
After that, we had...
Was this Tyler Bate next?
It was Tyler Bate versus Joe Coffey. And these two men can work. And Tyler Bate was dominating this match. Like, even with Gallus on the outside, he was still dominating. Until you had Dabba-Kato come in.
Yeah, I'm like, who let Commander Aziz out of the barracks?
And it was just so weird that they did the little vignette earlier tonight. Now he shows up. Like, I thought that would have been a little bit, they would have let it fester a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So it just was like, I'm very surprised that they brought him back. But, I mean, we'll see. It could definitely be something that will happen. And hopefully Dabba-Kato can actually get some momentum from this. Otherwise, it's just another wasted attempt at him, and it's probably time to cut bait.
At this point, he's kind of like he's like the NXT version of Omos.
Right. Next, we went into Thea Hale versus JC Jane.
Oh, man.
And tough break on this match.
Yeah.
We didn't get the victor that we wanted. JC Jane did end up beating Thea Hale.
Yeah.
But it was still a good match. She still had a good showing. She was able to get her moves in. JC Jane still a little sloppy in the ring for my liking. Like, she's still tentative with the other wrestlers. So I don't know if it's that she's not getting enough work, but Thea is like getting better and better every week.
I would say so as well.
What were your thoughts on this match?
My thoughts, again, I still with Thea Hale, man, like I think honestly with both of them, I feel like once at least on JC's side, once Toxic Attraction was officially over after Roxanne took the women's title off of Mandy Rose, and they kind of split and kind of did their own. They kind of split and have done their own thing, like solo runs. Like seeing like JC in a way, now that Mandy's gone and now the only people you can look at now are Gigi and JC. I kind of feel like I've been thinking that JC has kind of been was always seen as the third wheel of Toxic Attraction, because I felt like no one really paid much attention to her. It was mainly just Mandy and Gigi that a lot of people had kept their eyes on for a while. JC is, I think she can definitely, like you said, she definitely can improve on some areas, but I still think she's growing fast, growing strong. Thea, um I'm with you with the Chase U segment that they did earlier. Duke and Thea, I feel like Duke and Thea might just be the ones turning on Andre because what was it? JC was the one that undid, that kind of exposed the turnbuckle, but then when I think Thea was about to be whipped into the said turnbuckle, Andre was there to fix it, but it's like, wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're messing me up, bruh. And he's like, no, I was trying to help. She goes right back to like start the thing. Boom, inside cradle, done. It was like, come on. Thea could have won.
Thea should have won. But it's just building that storyline and making everything better. So eventually we will see, I feel, the split of Chase U. But we had some good moments happen after this. You had Metaphor was they interrupted Hard Hitting Truths with Nathan Frazier for Supernova sessions. Then Nathan Frazier called Noam Dar a fraud because he has a fake cup.
Noam Dar, man.
I mean, I can't argue with what he's doing because when he lost the cup and he played that role,
he participated in the, as I like to say, he participated in the Linda McMahon challenge. Just
yes, pretty much. I get what you're saying, Cam. How she is still very young.
Yeah, she's 19.
She's only 19, but just think of what she could do if she stays within this business. Because to do what she's doing at 19 just shows what she could be doing in 3-4 years. Absolutely. She could be one of the top talents on the entire roster.
Yeah, she'll probably surprise us in the future. You just need to give her a few years, and next thing you know, she might be one of the ones on top.
After that, NXT had there was another vignette in regards to Los Lotharios.
Yes, this one got me interested too because this is
so you talk about it because I was doing something and I missed this part. So go ahead, talk about what happened.
Okay, so the thing with Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo, if you didn't know, from the past, Angel and Humberto are actually blood related. They are cousins. They share the same grandfather, whose name is Humberto Garza. They are both of them actually are third. They're both third generation wrestlers, but I think this segment was to show us that in the the past maybe 1 or 2 years, Angel and Humberto have not really lived up to the name that their grandfather instilled in them and sort of made them out to be, because I remember they had that one moment when Humberto just snapped and yelled at Angel, are we here to chase women or are we here to chase glory? And like they basically just a little spat, kind of broke them up, but from the words of their grandfather. But now with them hearing the words of their grandfather kind of going through in that little vignette, I feel like they're gonna come back together because number one, this is, it kind of makes you think of a Dom Toretto thing, because it's like, you don't turn your back on family and all that stuff. But I think this is them just realizing, all we've been doing is playing dumb gimmicks of Latin lovers. we should be installing ourselves as, again, being one of the best one of the best luchador families in the business, and really just showing what we can do, as a whole. Yeah, and I agree, Cam. Hector Garza was sensational. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack from that, but
yeah, I
this
mean
is all about them coming back.
the way they're getting better and better every week, it's just so good because like last week I was getting invested, so I will have to go back and rewatch it because I'm curious as to what they are going to continue to do going forward.
I agree.
And then after that, we had Wesley go back to the back with the contract for Carmelo Hayes to sign. And Carmelo was refusing to sign it. He said, I'll see you on Tuesday. So,
he's like, no, we're doing this now.
So Wesley was like, nope, we're doing this now. Threw everything off the table, knocked the table down, dragged the table out to the ring, and they had an impromptu contract signing.
That was great. That's honestly one of the best that's honestly one of the best ways to do a contract signing. It's like, you don't want to sign this? I'll make you sign this. Give me this. I'll take it out to the ring. Let's do this now. Let's make this official. I like how he took the whole table. Yeah, the whole table.
The way he dragged the table with him, got it into the ring, set it up, and told Carmelo to come out there. And Wesley was like the heel in this aspect. It seemed like it.
Yeah, he was acting very
heel. By the end of it, he sounded like the babyface.
Yeah.
It was just weird how it went back and forth between the two.
Yeah. Like, you got Carmelo, who's trying to be trying to be the honorable fighting champion, but then Wes, although it seemed like heelish, once he started going into the personals of being, in the army, being told not to do stuff, that's when you get like ultimate underdog babyface vibes. And yeah, it's kind of a face versus face thing, but like the tweaks in it are what make it what it is.
And just the way that they went back and forth, the promo between the two, they both said things, and then Mello was like, you won't be able to be him. And Wesley's like, I don't want to be him.
Right.
I'm not him. But like I'm me. I went through all this ways to get here. And it just was so good, and it made you believe that Wesley could win this championship match next week. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's they're suspending belief that you think that he'll lose, but like they're giving you thinking that he will win.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, let's close the tab tonight on NXT. Give your final thoughts on the show.
Final thoughts. This was a very solid way to cap off NXT before, or at least having this be being the go home show before the super show for the NXT Heatwave super show. Just to cover two other things that we missed. There was we did have the backstage scene where Dragon Lee and Lyra Valkyria were sort of observing the whole, looking over the challenge video, and it's like, okay, if we are going to be the ones that take down Rhea and Dom, we need to work together on this. And it's like, wait, whoa. No, not romantically. Like, we need to be there like head wise. Like, we gotta learn from each other, you know, like Dragon Lee says it in Spanish. She's like, what? It's like, what I meant is this. And she's like, well, in Ireland, we say this. And he's like, wait, what? It's like, well, you know what it is. Same thing. So they went over that. I thought it was just a funny little segment, but yet, you know, still something where it's like, yeah, we got to work together. If we're going to beat them, we need to have the same mindset. We need to almost be exactly like them. And then the second part, Ilya Dragunov, again, telling Trick, you are not ready. You are not ready. You are not on my level because you are not ready for the intensity that I am about to put you through. I am the Mad Dragon, the Tsar. No one can stop me at this point. Like, but
So,
yeah,
my thoughts on this week's NXT is they did a lot to build up Heatwave, and they made Heatwave feel like it is a pay-per-view on television, and it just is. You're gonna have top-notch matches. You have Trick Williams versus Ilya Dragunov. You're gonna have Wesley versus Carmelo Hayes. You're gonna have the mixed tag match. You're gonna have what else?
no, I don't know. I'll just say no.
You're gonna have the Heritage Cup. No, Noam Dar versus Nathan Frazier. I'm assuming you're gonna have Tiffany Stratton defend her title on the show because she said she's gonna be there next week. So next week is a star-studded matchup that I'm hyped and ready to see.
Absolutely, so am I.
So before we head on out, Phil, where can we find you?
Well, if you enjoy this debut episode of NXT on Tab, you still want to find this beautiful face, make sure you can find me on basically every social media platform you can think of: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Snapchat, Social Pack, all that good stuff. And you can catch me every Thursday night at 10:30 Eastern on Panda Wrestling Company's Free Talk Wrestling alongside Canada Coaster and Too Sweet Blaze. And then usually if you guys need me, I'm always here. I'm always here to pop by.
So I am Scalz. You could find me here on Off the Top. You could find me also on our sister brand Rivet City Radio, doing different things when they ask me to join on over there. Otherwise, I am on Twitter and TikTok at Off the Top Media _. And I just want to thank everybody for coming out. If you are not following, make sure to drop that follow. Make sure to like it, subscribe, do whatever you do. Help us build this up and let us keep growing. Have a great evening, and we'll see you on the flip side.